Gonna do a bit of a quick video tonight, an unboxing of a game called The Cursed Castle. This is from a series of Kickstarters called Solo Game of the Month, and as you can probably guess, that means it's solitaire games. So, first off, when I opened it, I'd like to say that this is a cool case. It reminds me of old VHS tapes, so I really like that. It's not anything specific to the game, I believe. I don't know. This is my first Solo Game of the Month series, so maybe they all come like this and sit nicely on a bookshelf, but this is a cool case. So we got the cover art here, and then we got the back, and the theme of the game is that you are 3 hunters walking the forgotten hallways of the Cursed Castle in an attempt to purge the ancient evil that dwells within. Each round, you'll roll, manipulate, and allocate dice to overcome traps, defeat armies of minions, and vanquish deadly overlords. As your party progresses, you'll uncover powerful artifacts, learn new skills, and make game-changing combos to delve deeper into the castle and break its evil curse. But beware, building up your heroes is easier than preserving them in this brutal adventure. So yeah, let's take a look inside. Now this just arrived today, January 31st, 2025, so I haven't really looked into it or anything. I simply backed this because of the art. I believe it is the Darkest Dungeon artist. If not, it's extremely close. But anyway, inside it looks like we have various tokens. Neat little wooden discs. Cubes. Dice. More dice. And we'll take a look at these in just a moment. Empty bag. And a nice little rule book. The rule book itself has some really neat illustrations on the back. And of course the game cover on the front. So we've got a nice 23-page rule book. And it's in full color. It's hard to show this off with one hand, but it looks like you are trying to reach the bottom of the dungeon and kill the boss. So I will have to play this on my channel, I think. Get any excuse to play some solitaire games. Bring more attention to some of those. And much to the chagrin of a few people in some of my comments, my unboxing video is not going to be a breakdown of every component of the game. You can look at how the game is played and look at every component if you're interested in that, but I like to kind of be surprised by the game, play it, and experience what it has to offer. But I will break down the components. There are 4 dungeon decks, which the object of the game is to defeat the final boss at the bottom of the dungeon deck. And so we have Dungeon 1. I'll flip over a card from each one just to show off something. Oh boy, chest. Lame. And then we've got chest and alright, barricade and dredger. Okay, that's kind of lame, so let's see. Let's get to something else. Alright, blight talker. And then a mimic. Okay, that makes that's more of a classic dungeon monster. And then a captive. And we also have 9 wandering monster cards, which the first one that we'll take a look at is the archer. That's awesome. And then we have 6 hero cards. Looks like you have a choice between champion, ranger, magus, anchoress, the wraith, and artist. There's also going to be, it looks like a merchant card. So he's got the little treasure bag symbol. There are various ability cards. Then there's also 15 equipment cards, such as tome. And then there are modifiers. And of course, the meat of the game, the bosses. We'll take a look at one here, which happens to be the Bone Bishop. That's cool. Well, I look forward to playing this game. Again, I don't want to break down all the contents and spoil some of the surprises and stuff of the game for me, but this is a solo game of the month. They have varying themes. I saw Western, I saw some other ones. They do Kickstarters, and it's a pretty quick turnaround time to get them shipped and delivered. If this one is fun enough, I'm going to look into some of their other ones, I believe, because I like putting the solitaire games out and bringing my attention to some of these fun little things. So if you want to see how the game plays, eventually I will have a video, or you can go look up, somebody else probably has a video, or there's other breakdowns on Board Game Geek and other websites like that. But this game looks pretty fun to me. So because of how similar this looked, I did look up the artist for Darkest Dungeon, which is a fantastic series narrated by the late Wayne June. It is a cool RPG, dungeon crawling, roguelike experience, Lovecraftian horror inspired. A lot of keywords there would make my dad not play that game. But Chris Barassa, I believe is how you pronounce the name of the artist for Darkest Dungeon. But on the back here we have just different art by these fine people. And I looked it up, and it looks like it was licensed art from Darkest Dungeon, from mods and stuff. The creator got approval to use this in the game, so that is why it looks so well fit to the theme. But I'm looking forward to getting this one on the table someday. I just thought it was a neat little thing. Like to point out something, maybe a hidden gem or anything that somebody might not normally notice. So, one last thing before I pack it up. These cards are a unusual size. So sleeves, I believe this is a 2 by 3.5. This is a 1 3/4 by 2.5. So I'm not quite sure what the terminology is for the proper card size and the sleeves and everything. But these look like usual. I don't know. Fantasy Flight likes to add a lot of little dinky cards like that. This is a card size I don't think I've ever seen before. But that being said, this was a cursory look at the Cursed Castle. Sorry if I didn't dive deep enough into how the game plays or the mechanics. This was just an unboxing, literally taking things out of the box and taking a quick glance at them. As I said, solitaire game, reach the bottom of the dungeon, kill the boss, try to survive. It's apparently really hard. There were also 9 modifier cards that were not included with the Kickstarter because the designer said he was questioned quite often how to make the game more difficult. So if you backed it, he said on Board Game Geek that once the cards are printed, he will send them to you. I believe it was 9 modifier cards, 1 for each of the bosses. So those won't be in anybody's copy of the game initially, but if you backed it on Kickstarter, you'll probably get them sent to you. If not, I would just reach out to the designer on Board Game Geek. Anyway, that's that.